Good morning. I just wanted to share a little funny with you. So, we all know in these difficult times we have to work remotely from home if we're fortunate enough to work, and our school kids need to try to keep up with their school from home. So, I raised four kids, and let me just tell you, school these days are so much different than they were when my kids were going. Back in the day, you had corporal punishment, or you had that nun with a ruler. Um, can't do that anymore. But having said that, we also have some great teachers, and I feel like they don't get paid enough. And this especially came true to my attention the other day. I was sitting while my nephew Scotty was trying to keep up with his class remotely through Zoom, and they meet every day at 10 a.m. So we'll call this teacher, Mrs. Barkley. She comes on, and a couple of faces start popping up and everything. And she's saying, "Good morning, kids. Good morning, kids." It's a smaller school. There's 10. So we have Mrs. B. We have Scotty, Kevin, Beth, a couple other kids, and they're coming on, and they're all saying good morning and chit-chatting a little, and then she starts talking to them about the book. She goes, "I hope everyone read to chapter 9 like we talked about, and we're going to talk about some of the characters." And then all of a sudden she looked and she realized how much time has gone by, and they still need 4 more students. So she said, "Well, I don't know what's happening to the other kids, so we're going to go ahead and get started." So she starts by talking about the book, and she's going on and talking to Bethany and so on and so forth. She's into the session, and she says the other kids will have to catch up later. And then all of a sudden you hear something, and she'll say, "No, mute that, mute that. I'm gonna read and ask some questions." And then all of a sudden it's going face to face to face to face. One's talking to the other one, and one's asking the teacher something, and the teacher's trying to, so the screen's flipping all over the place, and she finally says, stop, hold up. You're going to wait for me to call your name. Let's get some ground rules. I'm going to talk, you mute it, and when I call on you or ask you a question, then you unmute, and we all listen. We're all listening. We're all still here together. We're listening. And when I call on you, unmute and answer the question. So, right? Okay. So they're all nodding. "Yes, Mrs. B. Yes, Mrs. B. Yeah." And they're fidgeting, and one's looking over there, and one's looking back there, and one's down like this, and one's like this, One's doing one of these things. So, obviously, it's hard to keep their attention that way. So Mrs. B began to ask a question, and she called on Beth. And then all of a sudden, 2 new students jumped in. Boop, boop. "Hey, hi, sorry we're late. I had to walk my dog, and I overslept." And, so all this interruption and chaos. And then the kids are like, "Hey," Kevin's like, "Hey, Joey, did you blah, 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 blah." And it's all chaos all over again. Everyone unmuted, they're talking, and faces are popping up of the screen, and somebody gets up and leaves and then comes back, and then it looks like they had a glass of soda. It was just crazy. So finally she said, "Good morning." "Good morning, good morning, good morning." All right? She says, "I just want to go over everything. We are going to mute, except for me. We're listening. We're all following along. We're still all together. And I'm going to be calling on you to answer questions or read sections, or if you have a question, raise your hand and I'll call on you. And mute until then." So we went through all this, and then she goes, "Okay, good morning, class. Let's start over." Just then, someone's dog starts barking. Oh my God, you can hear it in the background, like really loud. And Mrs. Barkley's like, "Oh my God, whose dog is that? Whose dog is that? You need to mute." And then Bethany says, "It's mine. You said to unmute if you called on me, and you called on me." "Yes, but that was before the 2. Never mind. Mute. Okay." And all of a sudden, someone's little baby's crying in the background. And all the kids are like, "Who's that? Who is the baby? Who's babysitting? Are they okay?" all the chaos, back and forth. Then you see the things flipping, then you hear like noises, and then she finally takes a deep breath again, and she said, we need to focus, okay? So this has been going on. We finally got most of the background noises stopped. We finally got most of the faces up front, like they're paying attention again. So she begins to read, and she was going to ask a question. And then all of a sudden, she realized what time it was. So she's like, okay, you know what? We really wasted, we didn't get on straight today, so we really need to just wrap it up. I'm going to give you assignments, what to read to page 96, chapter 7, and I'm going to have a question first thing tomorrow morning for each of you. We're going to say good morning, any questions, and I'm going to read a little bit, and then I'm going to ask everyone questions, so make sure you read, and we will go, and then all of a sudden, hey, just when she's about ready to give the next assignment and finish the day, a couple more kids join the Zoom class. So she's just like, now she's looking defeated. She's looking tired. Her eyes are squinted up like she has a bad headache. And the kids are so excited because the new kids came on, so everybody unmuted. Everybody's chatting back and forth. You're hearing all sorts of noises. And she's just like this, and she's looking, and she's waiting, and she's waiting, and she's waiting. Finally, the kids kind of catch on that chaos is happening. And she says, all right, kids, we're done for today. Read your book. Hopefully you get to chapter 7. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And that was Zoom class in USA.